Look, for better or for worse, Microsoft is doing some things with Xbox that might ruffle a few feathers, and it might not be a popular thing right away. If you look at the things that Microsoft has done in the gaming stratosphere, it wasn't always stuff that everybody kind of jumped on right away. It was things that people pushed back against initially. I mean, even look at the Xbox One stuff. They got so much hate for that, with like the DRM and, that kind of thing. People push back against that now. Everybody loves, services like Game Pass where you need a check in and, where there is DRM on everything and, pretty much everybody's connected anyway. So, it's sort of weird to see that kind of stuff, but will this end up in a positive place for Microsoft, or is it too early? I think that's going to be a very telling thing over the next couple of years, and I think this year in particular is going to be sort of a big year. I hesitate to say make or break, but you never know. But anyway, this should be a very interesting thing because I think this is a huge lead and a huge edge over PlayStation, and whether they admit it or not, this is huge. This is massive. So we'll see what's going to happen in the future. But I want to go ahead and get started with this video. What's up, everybody? Crap Gamer here with Crap Gamer Year with reviews. Back with another video. Thank you for checking it out. Please like, share, subscribe. And you know what? Again, it really is going to be kind of tremendous to see what happens, but again, I'm excited to see kind of how things go. And I do daily gaming content, so if you guys enjoy gaming content, hey, what's up, and you guys can kind of check it out at your own pace or whatever. At least one video a day, but sometimes two, sometimes more. So we'll kind of see. It could be a very interesting year, I think, for Xbox. I'm looking to maybe even get back into some podcasting. So if you guys are interested in maybe seeing a podcast come back or whatever, a common sense podcast anyway, then let me know, because I think that things could be very, very interesting, to say the least. And I'm very interested to see how everybody kind of feels about that. So anyway, simple like does go a long way. Keep that in mind as well. So for me anyway, the way that I'm looking at these things, Microsoft has one big advantage that PlayStation doesn't, and that's Game Pass. And there's already 25 day one games coming to Game Pass that that we know about. So we do have that to kind of look forward to as well. These are day one games, and they're not all obviously Xbox first party or whatever, but these are confirmed day one Game Pass games, which is a big reason to own an Xbox and a big reason to subscribe to Game Pass, right? Like, even if you think Xbox might get rid of their hardware and all that kind of stuff, it's still, maybe you're the type of gamer that just likes to play a game, beat it, and you're done with it. Maybe you were big on going to Blockbuster one weekend and getting some games and beating them. It's like, I think that could be, there's a strong contingent of gamer that are like that out there. So when you look at it, you have the new Sniper Elite come in, you have a Valve come in, which is coming relatively quickly, and Atomfall. You have, so many games. Doom, Dark Ages. You have Fable. There's really a ton of games. You have a little bit of everything here, which I think is really cool. You have South of Midnight, Sleight of Hand, Outer Worlds 2, Wheel World, 33 Immortals, Call of Duty. That's another one that's not even on this list, but yeah, Call of Duty is going to be a day one Game Pass game. You also have clearly, Microsoft is going to do everything they can to make sure that their first party stuff like Towerborn, that's going to be a day one Game Pass game. That's, I think, really what kind of sets apart Microsoft, and Xbox. And not everybody probably will care about that, and I understand that sort of framework as well. But for me, I think it's really cool that they have these options. If you're a budget-minded gamer, then you have that to kind of look into as well. Like, hey, I don't have to spend $1 million to play these games. Like, I've mentioned this numerous times, but just with the first-party Xbox stuff this year, you're talking South of Midnight. That's $70. You're talking Call of Duty, $70. You're talking Avowed, $70. You're talking Doom, $70. You know, it really does add up, and people don't realize that. You're talking Fable, $70. It's like, $500 worth of games, and now you can, like, basically just kind of, the way that everybody does Netflix or whatever. You can kind of just worry about that from that kind of perspective. It's just part of your subscription, and you just kind of can play your games through that way. So, we'll see how that works out, if it's going to be something that, Xbox gamers can adapt to. Like I said, I feel like Microsoft has probably done some very interesting things. They probably done some numbers, run some numbers and things like that. And, the numbers are saying, hey, we can survive doing what we're doing, and yeah, we're not going to have huge console sale numbers or whatever, but we can still have decent software sales if we put our certain games on other things. We can certainly survive by doing things. I just again, me, because I'm a little bit of a pessimist with some of this stuff, honestly just hope that Microsoft go out there and still give people a reason to get the console. I feel like that's still something that you have to give people. So again, that's the hope that I sort of have for Microsoft, and hopefully that you guys do too. The competition needs to be there. The things that Microsoft's doing to get people involved and interested in Xbox, that all needs to be there. And just from a general standpoint, I feel like all this stuff needs to be there. So as we get into kind of year 25 of Xbox, you have to understand that they have to have some kind of a good plan going forward. You know what I mean? And that's exactly why I feel like it's important to kind of pimp out Game Pass a little bit, because believe it or not, Microsoft doesn't really do a good job of talking about Game Pass for whatever reason. I wish they did, because sometimes I'll tell people about it and they'll be like, oh, well, I didn't even know about that. I didn't even know that was a thing, or whatever the case may be. And, you just kind of shake your head a little bit, like, really? Like, how can you not know about this stuff? It's like, Game Pass, it's pretty a tremendous thing to have. And, at the end of the day, Microsoft has a huge thing to get people to buy into it. So, I hope that we can see Microsoft continue to, push the envelope and get people excited about, the platform, and get people amped up about what's happening and what's coming sooner rather than later. And I think Game Pass is a good way to do that. Even if you're just like, hey, I want to try some of these other games or whatever the case may be, I think it's still smart to do that, and still smart to kind of go out there and, give somebody, something to look forward to. Like, Game Pass always has something in it, whether it's, day one stuff, or whether it's, first party, whether it's third party, whatever the case may be. I still think that it's, very, very important to kind of go about and make sure the gamers have those things to kind of offer to the fans or whatever. So, like, again, I can understand why some people are a little bit hesitant on Game Pass. For me, I think that it's a smart thing to kind of offer people, give people a lot of variety. Then on the other hand, there's also people that, I can remember when I was younger and I didn't have like a big game collection. It just, like, I really would just play the heck out of whatever I had, and maybe you're a little bit more jaded the more games you have. Like, sometimes, I have all these games and I'm just like, I don't really have anything to play. Like, that can be a thing for people as well. But we'll see how this all works out. Like I said, Microsoft, they're a multi-trillion-dollar company. They should definitely be able to, understand what gamers want. They should definitely be able to listen to the fans and things like that. And that's probably where they're going to end up being, the smartest of everything. It's like, I don't think they're going to be in a spot where they sell, 60, 70, $80 million consoles again, but they can certainly be in a spot where, Microsoft is more and more reliant on the past gen, right? So they sold almost 60 million Xbox Ones. They probably expect to sell, 35, 40 million Series X and S's. So they look at it as it going into the next gen with, 40 million Xbox Series X and S's, and maybe expect to only sell 20 million, 25 million whatever the next gen thing is. But you combine the two, and that next thing you know, you've got 65, 70 million consoles out there where that many people can play, and that's kind of what they've been doing right now, and that's what they'll probably continue to do. I think cross-gen will last even longer next generation, whether you like that or not. It's just going to be a thing. So what do you guys think? What are you guys excited about? Personally, I hope that Fable lives up to the hype, but there's a ton of games that I'm excited for. Let me know down below. Rack 'em up. Crep Gamer out.